So my guest for the morning, Emmanuel Tremantinge Jakun, is a member of parliament for Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency. Thanks for joining me, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And a former member of parliament for North Dine is here, George Lowe. He's also a legal practitioner. Thanks for joining me, George.
It's a pleasure.
And your party is in the news, apparently. There's this...
we are always in the news anyway. We are the largest opposition party in Ghana.
Ah, right. You know Valerie Sawyer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Valerie Sawyer.
She seemed to be taking a dig at your party founder, raising questions about some of the things Mr. Rawlings says, and also raising issues with former Attorney General Martin Amidu, criticizing them, etc. And I know that you know the insights of some of these reports that have surfaced in the media. What do you make of them?
Well, good morning, Roland. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to my brother. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes. Happy to see you.
Great to see you too. Yes, I think that this matter is in the public domain. Apparently, Mr. Rawlings and all the other people who she mentions in her write-up have done, either said one thing or the other, or done one thing or the other that she disagrees with. And so she brings her perspective to what they said. I mean, she professes her opinion on what she thinks. And I think that in a democracy, we should all have a big space, to contain divergent views, and views that are different from ours. So it's nothing new. I think that in every party you would have people who disagree with some of the things that others have said. And so she's expressed her opinion, and she's entitled to it. If those mentioned, I mean, I believe that they all have the capacity to respond in good measure, if they so decide to do. So, well, I haven't this morning elected myself as anybody's PRO in this matter. What I think it is that it's a dialogue that is going on. Somebody says A, another person says no, I disagree. What about these other ones? And I think that we should all find space, to situate all these things in the context in which they are and move on. We are a party. For us in the NDC, we are a national democratic party. Our democratic credentials always come to bear, And so I don't think that we have cause for alarm. I think that there's a discussion going on. We will continue to disagree with views. When we feel strongly about something, we'll put it out there. Mr. Martin Amidu has been putting out very strong views against even the president, the leader of the party at the time. But has anybody taken a cutlass to go and face him in the house? Other people, including myself, who had divergent views, has expressed it openly. And so will it be for everybody. We've had the opportunity to criticize our leaders, our presidents, and everybody else. So I think that it's part of our democratic space. The important thing is that we need to find a way of all of us sanitizing the space so that within the democratic continuum, we all do things that fit in the conceptualized democracy that we all have. We want to be a democracy that you can say what you want, I can say what I want, and yet would all converge at a point and move on. For me, that is the most important. That's the most important thing. I think that things are being taken out of context, and things are being taken out of form. Simple, straightforward issues. One person says this, another person says, oh, no, I disagree. You shouldn't have done it this way. I also think these other ones exist, so let's take a look at it. Some people will agree to what...
At the end of the day, seem to be bringing some sort of division within the party. Is that not the case?
Well, I think that within the party, both sides will have those who support them. There will be people who think that, for once, somebody has said something that many people would have said if they had the, I didn't want to use those words, if they had the courage, maybe it's a better word, yes, to say so. Some people think that no, this is our founder, you've gone too far. Whichever way you come, I'm saying that it's a matter of democratic opinion.
Okay.
You know, there are people in the party who thinks, oh, Mr. Martin Hamidu is a star pupil. Some of us think he is doing us a lot of harm as a party. Because when you are a member of a party, you always come out with issues that are not substantiated.
Always going against the grain.
Yeah. You don't use internal mechanism to resolve issues. All we do is, even where party is doing something, you come out and take a far left or far right position and, you know, give the impression, certain impressions that is not, I mean, including having, from what we hear, having the courage to even attempt to assault a sitting president and things like that. Nobody will want such elements in our party. And some of us, I hear somebody has petitioned. I have said on many platforms that we must learn to rein in people like that. And people will say, oh, why? They are afraid. What? NPP sacked their general secretary of the party when he went against party.
What do you mean by sacked? You mean suspended?
Well, whatever it is, they
it's an indefinite suspension.
Yes, they took an action against him. And many other, including their first vice president, a vice chairman.
And then the chairman.
And then the chairman and all that. They cracked the ship. Why are we not cracking the ship too? I think that as a party, we all know the remit within which we can operate. So I think that, you know, party leadership, this is the call. I think that party leadership is failing.
They need to act.
They need to take a decision. They need to take a decision. The only challenge we have in this matter is that we also have our founder, per our constitutional arrangement, being the chairman of a council of elders. We find out that the NPP, when they had to take a decision on Mr. Fuku, it was the council of elders who met as part of. So sometimes we have a problem, and our council doesn't meet because of latent challenges and things like that. Fair game. But I believe that moving forward, we should put all these structures properly in place so that issues like this can be handled at a certain level. So really, I think that within the democratic space, Mr. Rawlings has expressed his opinion about how he feels, what he feels about other former presidents, and things like that. I think Madam Valarisaki, if I read her well, I mean, some of these things, you know, they are long, and sometimes I'm reading them on WhatsApp, you know. But if you read her well, all that she said in relation to Mr. Rawlings is that, oh, some of the things that you are saying, I believe they also happen under your watch. So what about that? I think that is a legitimate question. If they didn't happen, I think that the handlers of Mr. Rawlings will come and say, look, madam, you got it all wrong. Basic.
Oh, well noted. But as a casual observer, and especially on the other side of the political divide,
as an interested observer, you cannot be casual about this matter.
I can only be very casual.
what do you make of all this?
It's very demystification.
So what do you make of all this?
Well, good morning to you again, and to Joy. I haven't seen a little while. Right. And to cherished viewers. And first and foremost, I must say that my own understanding of political parties is that we are not necessarily friends. Okay, we must not be chummy. It doesn't say that we must be, but fundamentally we must admit, or we must know that we are on the same side. I don't need to be friends with, but we must clearly understand that we are on the same side. Number one. Number two, I will not sit here and pretend as if in my own political party, in the past, and even probably in the present, we might not have some challenges, some differences of opinion, some some clash of personalities. It happens all the time, even among families. Okay. So, I remember 2-3 years ago when we were at the peak of our challenges. I remember the things that were said by our political opponents, the NDC. They made it look and sound as if that was the end of our political party. They made it sound, and indeed, I have no doubt in my mind that they stoked some of the fires. Okay. They would stoke the fire of tribalism, of ethnicity. They would stoke the fire of everything. Divide the people, even among a certain same-speaking people. They would say things just to bring disaffection and dissatisfaction. I hope that as for me and those of my political, we will not do that. I concede that this is a real trying moment for them. Being the ultimate Democrats, we don't think that we want a one-party state. They must resolve the problem. But you see, going back, they themselves call them, the NDC calls themselves a Congress, an amalgamation of all sorts of people. And when you call all sorts of people, at a certain point, everybody where they have come from will begin to show their true character. Look, the reality about NDC is that when it was formed, President Rawlings was the lord of all he surveyed, and nobody would dare dissent. That is the reality. After he passed and he lost power, then everybody now thinks that they are his co-equal. The fundamental problem NDC has is that the party has a founder. It's for somebody. When you say founder, it's for somebody. He founded the party, and he called all of you to come and help me. I have heard the arguments that, oh, we helped him to get to where he is. Yes, be that as it may. But the reality is that he has a founder.
So you're saying that he was the rallying point?
Yes. And I am saying that at that point, he was the 20, 30 years ago, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings was the lord of all he surveyed. Did you hear any dissent? Today, people feel that he is, and we read on social media, we hear them say that he is no more important in their scheme of things. That is what is causing their problem. Okay, so my view, I stand for correction. My view is that this party is divided into the pro-Rawlings, the cadres, those who started the PNDC, AFRC, PNDC on one side, and the modernists, those who joined. And who have
those who joined as the Democrats.
Well,
as the
whatever you choose to call them is
the
another
latter
thing.
day.
Yeah, you know. And I think that this is where, after all, let's look at it. What did I do? I always talked about when we there, and the sacrifices they made to get NDC to where it was. He speaks with a lot of passion about the PNDC, and he doesn't lose an opportunity to talk about he being a PNDC deputy secretary in Upper Region and all of this. Okay, and then there are the modernists of today, who in the last, particularly in the last 4 years, also became,
or 10 years.
More than even 10 years.
Because I don't know.
For instance,
because my understanding,
Madame Valerie Saki had been deputy chief of staff even under Professor Mills.
No,
again, my understanding.
She has a certain history with the father.
Yes,
so
yeah,
my understanding is that even in the last 8 years, there seems to be a cleavage between what happened under President Mills and what happened. We read. The people, I mean, let's be frank about it.
It's a political
and for them, if they are going to be able to resolve their problems, like the Kwesi Botchwey report, they must take it. They commissioned it. They must take it and look at the issues raised. I haven't seen it. Similarly, they must listen to themselves. there is a Rollins and his people, then now I believe that there are people that followed Atta Mills and felt hard done by in the last 4 years. All of these forces are at play.
And the younger generational ones of
And then,
John Mahama.
and then there is the John Mahama faction. It is okay. There is nothing wrong even about having factions in political parties. It is okay. It is always the way it is made. I mean, they'll tell you that in the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan, it is institutionalized so that they rotate. You know, this faction becomes prime minister, and then when he's prime minister, the next faction, there's a regent, crown prince waiting. He comes from another faction, and he's usually maybe the chief cabinet secretary. As soon as this one's turn is over, for me, as the politics mature, all of these are there. But you know, for me, listening to them and hearing them, I wish them well. I don't want it to break up.
Okay.
They are a Congress, first and foremost. They are a Congress.
You like emphasizing
as
that.
For us, we will tell you that we will trace our history to a certain point. Of course, I must admit, we have had our challenges. In 1979, we had our challenges. Okay. Maybe NDC started just recently, and it is now that they are going to go through all the challenges that rites of passage. Yeah, maybe they are now going through it. It might be a little turbulent. I don't wish bad for them. I wish them well. But I don't know. I mean,
okay.
If you ask me personally, I have tremendous respect for somebody like Martin Amido. I find him to be very consistent. I find him to...
With his views, his virtues, and his principles.
I mean, let's face it. I find him a fantastic Ghanaian. Look at the work he has done for this nation when it comes to this Wyoming. When the party was pussyfooting. Okay. So, it is not my house matter. And I probably also have some challenges in my own party. I don't want to, but I am saying that if they will be honest enough and face they might come out better. But to conclude, the way they are handling it, and I'm not too sure.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to solve the problem for me.
George, how do we situate this in the narrative? At one hand, you hear the likes of, and just like also espoused by Chairman Tinge Jako, you have the likes of Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, Martin Amido and his friends say that the party seems to be deviating from the principles by which they were founded. Now, and then you have these, the other side also challenging these utterances and the positions they take, and that saying that they have to look at things within the scheme of things and not just perhaps make those conclusions. Is that a case of a generational gap for which the transition has not been done well? Perhaps maybe your generation, for which you are not adhering to the principles that founded the party?
Well, Roland, when you talk about principles, are you talking about probity, accountability?
The things we keep hearing. Yeah. Because at the Adana Asafotu Fiame Festival, for example, Mr. Rawlings again reiterated some of those.
You see, those are core values that should not guide, say, the NDC alone. But those are great values that should guide everyone in public office.
Particularly when the founder thinks that you're deviating from those values.
You see, that's why I'm saying that. Mr. Honorable Ejaku makes fantastic points when he says that, look, there are microcosm of groupings that have come together. Even more interesting is the fact that, look, if you go back to the demographics, there's a large chunk of people who were born even after Mr. Rawlings exited. A lot of people have entered into the fray who did not even see the generation, I mean, were not part of the generation that I mean, those of us who were even lucky at the tail end, we saw some of the things. They have their own views. today with social media and everything, the dynamics have changed. It doesn't mean that values must change too. But you see, we have a certain disposition that everybody should understand. Roland, if you were made chief executive of this company tomorrow, you would do programs that are different, and your conceptualization of how to run a TV station may be different from whoever you took over from. If I came after you, there are things that you are doing that I will say no. Our camera angles must change. Our settings must change.
But our house style necessarily will not change.
Yes, but our background must change.
Yes, but the house style will not change.
Good. But our presentation style may change.
Yes.
That sense, so the things will not be in a straitjacket. We are in a democracy. You see, when the cadres are talking, they are talking about some degree of discipline that they had to follow. And it was good for them at that time. Today, we cannot still hold people to that strict level of discipline in a democratic dispensation.
Because people have
people have their own rights, their freedom. What you would have done last and be just arrested and thrown into jail. Today, nobody does that without the order of the courts. So we have moved on. In moving on, we will have the challenges that we are having today. Thankfully, and God being so good, just as we are talking about this thing, tomorrow, God willing, we are inaugurating our party school.
Your party school?
Yes, our party school tomorrow.
So you have an institution now?
So now you have an Institute of Social Democracy. Okay, where now we train our party people to understand.
Institute of Social Democracy.
Yes, and they will all come in, and then
ISD.
Over there you would get the principles. You will get all the values that we stand for as social democrats. Maybe that will shape everybody, and then we would have a core understanding of where we want to go as a party.
When are you doing that again? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Where? Party office?
Party office at 10 o'clock. But then, in so doing, you don't transit. It's not like a matter of plucking one person from here and putting in here and then a matter. People have come with their own understanding. Some people were outside this country when the struggle was on. They have come in. They have skills, so you bring them in. In applying those skills, they may want to do things a little differently. They may want to, the way they even put their cases across may be different from what everybody would have expected 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I think that in the larger democratic space, like I keep saying, we will need to contain each other and always find a common ground. I think that the situation where people from all angles are piecing in every morning, where whilst you are trying to converge at a point, somebody throws a salvo and then another person replies, and it's not the best, but sometimes also when things are said in a certain way, it pushes all of us together and expedites the need.
Could be a problem of leadership. What do you think?
You see, I think that
because the rallying point for all institutions is leadership.
Yes, I think I have said that this is the time when leadership must put its foot down in the party. There are latent problems even with that because of our constitutional arrangement. You see, but I think that it is time also that our founder come to terms with the fact that we are all his children. Once we say he's the founder of our party, anybody who is a card-bearing member of the party should owe some degree of allegiance to the founder. But at home, the things a child can do may also be dictated by maybe some things that he displaces about how a father handles a certain situation. But a father is a big-hearted person.
And Rollins doesn't have that big heart.
I am saying that a father is a big-hearted person. And so fathers, like all of us, we learn to contain everybody.
So he should be accommodating.
So I'm saying that, listen, you see, we love it when our father looks us.
When scolds you.
My father, when your father scolds you, my father, when he scolds me, he does it in the house. We are not too happy if our father goes out and is scolding us in public because we get embarrassed. The reality on the ground is that what we want, we will love it when our father scolds us at home. But when we go to public, he should be able to tell his friends that, oh, this is Roland, he's my son. He's doing very well in school.
He's smart.
You know, for us, that is all we are asking for. We are saying that, we are not saying that everybody in the party is above board. Challenges will come. Okay. But we expect that when those challenges come, the scolding should be in-house.
All right.
And that we should not wash. Didn't our elders say we shouldn't be washing our dirty linens in public? So at all points, my conclusion is that everybody must understand the unique role God has bestowed on them in the interest of the NDC.
All right, thank you.
And we would be home and dry. And 2020 will be a foregone conclusion.
Meaning, well, you're winning 20.
Of course.
Someone will say you should put your house in order first. Because
but that is what I'm saying, that we need to put our house in order quickly.
Mr. Chairman, the president has been captioned in a story that has also been published in majoronline.com. It says, despite inheriting huge debt from the past, his government has put in place many measures to create jobs and drive development within the last 6 months. And for all that he's been saying is that critics talk as if I've been in power for 5 years. That was a quote from him.
Yeah.
We're expecting too much of the president. Is that what he's saying?
Well, I must first and foremost say that Ghanaians have a lot of expectations. After 8 years of very miserable government, 4 years of people living in darkness, the reasonable man, the man that walks in the street, has expectations. Okay, and I think that we campaigned on that platform that change must come, and indeed change has come. The only thing is that I think the expectations are too many, and it must be properly situated. I believe this is the reason why the president will say, particularly from the angle of the opposition, sometimes when I hear some of the things, I marvel. Well, I mean, whether it is on the floor of parliament or you hear it in discussions, I think the NDC are being unfair to the good people of this country.
Is that about NDC or just critics of government? The critics of government are only not the members of NDC.
I would say
you could have neutrals who perhaps also maybe.
I read this word neutral must be something that must be looked into properly. But I want to say that, you know, if a government leaves, the kind of situation that they left when they handed over on the 7th of January 2017. And then after a month they turn around to begin to say, why hasn't this happened? Why hasn't that happened? Why hasn't this happened? I think it's marks of hypocrisy. Roland, let's take any single thing. This economy was left in a real difficult situation. There was not a single, I mean, we had gone out there and signed an extended credit facility with the IMF. We had done so. The president could not even be bold to say that I'm going to sign on to IMF. He said that they were going to IMF for policy credibility. Let us ask today, which single policy has had credibility? Take the macroeconomic indices. They are the outcomes of every single one of them was in a bad shape. This is a government that overspent the budget by several billions, maybe 7 billion. And at the same time, they left behind arrears unpaid. They gave out the contracts and left arrears of probably in the same amounts. If contractors have not been paid. You gave contracts to people and you didn't pay them. Some for 2 or 3 years. Don't you expect that there will be difficulties? Just this morning or yesterday, it is said the government has set out a process to pay, I think, 3.8 million of the arrears. So monies that this new government could have used to do something, then the debt, the arrears you left, we have to find the money to pay those arrears. Because what is the point in giving a contractor a contract? The last one he was doing has not been paid for. There is talk about cocoa roads. George was there with me in the sixth Parliament. When cocoa marketing, when cocoa board comes to
face the committee.
No, to us to
you mean the committee or the plenary?
No, well, I mean, they will go to the committee first, but it comes to plenary.
Okay.
They come with a report of how they want to disburse the trade-back receivables they asked for. They told us last time that they were going to use 1.7 billion to construct cocoa roads. In the out 10, they gave our cocoa roads close to 5 billion. How do you manage a situation like this? But you see, the president is saying that, yes, I am not one that will run away from a very difficult situation. In the last budget, in the last mid-year review, we have.
You mean the recent one?
The recent one.
Okay.
Roland, in the first half of the year, we probably have paid close to 6 billion cedis just interest payments on our debts. You live an economy that is completely strangled.
Somebody would say that's good excuse.
It's not an excuse at all. It is the reality that faces this country. So now what is left, or what we need to do, is how to manage the situation. And I think that we are doing it well.
But you knew the situation. And indeed,
who said that?
According to the messages and the narrative from your leading members, we were told about all these things. So what you're reiterating is
some of them. Roland, I can only say it was some of them.
Now more.
It is only
now more to the point that once you knew about
yes,
and you were preferring solutions.
Yes.
At the end of the day, on hindsight, people would say you knew what you were about. So you should have no excuses at all.
But this is not an excuse.
It's a big excuse.
No, it's not an excuse. All he's saying is that, why do you make it as if I have done 5 years? If I promise that I will do free SHS. Free SHS can only come in September. Let us wait until September 2017. If it does not come on, then you will say that the man promised us free SHS and it didn't come to pass. The president said that I will give out $1 million to every constituency. You need a certain framework. And the framework is that the president in his wisdom has decided that he will go through the development agencies. Okay. You need to bring this to Parliament for the development agencies to actualize.
Why didn't the president tell us that I'll give $1 million per each constituency?
Yes.
But then I'll do that maybe a year or two down the lane.
No,
after I've been able to satisfy the legalities thereof.
Roland, it is about this question you are asking.
Or you think that there's an inference, so I should think for
there
myself.
There is an inference.
Really?
When the president says
but that's not fair to the average
No,
voter.
I think it is implicit, and everybody, like the president says, I will create new regions.
And we all know how you create new regions.
And we all know how we create new regions.
But if the president goes on the campaign trail, or his people go on the campaign trail, and they said that the new region will be created When I come in 2017, that's a big problem. When
He
it's
never
not
said
satisfied.
it will be created in 2017.
I'm not saying he said
Yeah,
it, because there are many things that were said on the campaign platform that
Yes.
is not your manifesto.
Oh,
For which
the
we
things-
can't hold you accountable
as for the things that were
but
said,
for the grapevine and for what is reported in the
for
media
the
has
things-
been attributed to leading members of your
Roland,
party.
as for the things that all politicians say and it's not in the manifesto, I don't think that you can hold it. But let us look at the things that was said by candidate Akufo-Addo then, now President Akufo-Addo.
Very well.
He will tell you that his flagship projects, in spite of the challenges he's having with the economy, will still come through.
But not the time that he promised.
What did he tell you that he will do free SHS in January?
But that's the problem.
No, he didn't say that.
But when he was campaigning for my votes, he
Yes.
told me that I'll give you free SHS when I come to power.
Yes, but
And you know that you're coming to power on the 7th of January 2017.
Yes, but Roland, I'm sorry to say, but this is the exact difficulty and challenge that the president is having.
Because of what he said. He's having this difficulty because of what he said.
He didn't say, but Roland, let's face it.
That's why now he's now telling us critics talk as if I've been in
Yeah.
power for 5 years, which
Yes.
we agree. He's
Yeah.
only been in power for 7 months.
For 7 months.
And so all the criticisms are not fair.
Some
We
of them-
all agree.
some
But
of
we're
them are
saying
not fair
that
at
if the
all.
president, as experienced a politician as he is,
Yes.
he shouldn't have been making those promises.
What promise did he make that he says he won't do now?
No, he will do.
Yeah.
But not in time.
What is time?
Okay.
Roland, time for secondary school.
George, what do you make?
Respectfully.
No.
Respectfully.
No, sir.
Time for
You've
secondary
been
school
talking
is
for-
September.
Yes, I know.
So if you, Roland,
But then
sit here and say that the man has promised and in 7 months.
But then voters who got caught on with the story but have children who will be going in the 2nd and 3rd year will not be beneficiaries. That's a big problem.
Which one is the problem?
I talk to you. What do you make of this? You criticize the president, he's only 7 months in office, and you want him to deliver what he should be delivering in 4 years.
Well,
that's not fair to the president,
absolutely.
George.
Well, Roland, you see, in this world, we do all manner of things. And when you do, the beauty of it is that it comes back to catch up with you. And then with what the president is doing.
What has the president done?
Wait, it's always, the explanation you can give is the illusions of opposition vis-a-vis the realities of governance. That is what is hunting the president.
That's not good language, is it?
Oh, why? Illusions of opposition vis-a-vis the realities of governance. Now, let me start by reminding you and challenging you to go and do research. In May, I think 29th May or something, then Mr. Akufo-Addo in opposition. Professor John Evans Atta-Mills as president. You remember Professor Doolittle? You remember that story? Where President Nana Akufo-Addo says that Professor Mills has failed and that he's doing nothing. And that he's a Professor Doolittle, so he must get up and work.
And what you're saying, you're premising it on the fact that
I am only saying that we have been magnanimous enough to give him 7 months. He was doing it in how many months? So today, Mr. Akufo-Addo has forgotten that 5 months down the line, he thought that a president of this country had nothing to show for his work.
Mr. George Ulo, you're a legal practitioner. Let me ask you this. If the president, who was then a candidate, promises people of a particular section of the country that I will create or carve out new regions out of your region, and you know that then you are even a legislator, there are certain regulations or constitutional processes to be undertaken, that's a fair point. You're a very like-minded person. You don't have to criticize the president for that.
Listen, the great thing is that and contrary to what my brother is saying, go back to contents of the newspapers. He said he would do it within first 6 months.
Which one?
The creation of the regions.
Where did he say it?
Oh, in the Western region. Go and check.
Is it in the manifesto? Those are news reports.
Roland, those are words from the mouth of the
We know
president.
what we read
No.
here.
I'm saying that those are from his words. And he, being a lawyer, and who prides himself as a constitutional lawyer, was he oblivious of what you do to create a region when he said those things? You see, that's what I'm saying, that these are illusions of opposition. These are the realities. Now, today he has come. he's seen that, look, it's easy to make math. When he was making it, and President Mahama was telling him that, Masa, cool down. You have never been here before. You have never been in this hot seat. So don't be talking the way you are talking. People descended on him. Today, clearly, is beginning to show. He's now throwing his hands in the air and saying Ghanaians are criticizing him. Oh my God! I mean,
not Ghanaians, the NDC.
I don't.
NDC,
they are from space or they are from Burkina Faso.
Or Ghanaians.
They are Ghanaians. So please, let's not say that. I am saying that the NDC and Ghanaians in general have a duty, right, to criticize the president if they are not satisfied with the pace at which he's moving. And so the president has no business coming to tell us that, oh, I've been here for only 7 months. We don't care. He made promises. His vice president made promises. Look, the vice president said immediately will come. Each constituency will get 1 million for 4 years.
He didn't say immediately.
Oh, Roland. You see, Roland, I mean, we are politicians. We are political watchers. I have been on this thing for a long time, not because I'm just talking. Go back and do content analysis. And today, what are they telling you? Today, they are saying that this year, they forget about the 1 million.
Nobody has said that.
Oh, Akufo say.
What did he say?
He says that, look, already 6 months is gone.
Yes.
And that nothing has happened. So they can't, that money cannot be.
No, but that's too simplistic.
No, but that's what he said.
You are completely taking Akoto out of context.
No, go back and play his
You are completely taking Akoto,
right?
You are taking
go
the
back
man
and play,
completely out of context.
And I'm saying that if you say you have the men and you are developing a policy and you do not also see how the policy will be rolled out this, in terms of timelines and things like that, then I don't know how you are developing a policy.
Are you also worried that, for example, public and private institutions accredited to train nurses in Ghana will have to reduce their intake by 1,600?
Well, I wish them well, Roland. But when we were saying about intake, we were saying that, look, because of this same problem that the NPP is reverting to, we were saying that, look, the allowance that we give you, let's use it to expand so that many more people can go in there. People love allowance. Now, the nurses, their own siblings who must qualify to go to nursing school will be at home because of this policy of quota. Roland, so the reality is beginning to dawn on everybody that when we were sticking to our guns and saying, look, let's work in the best interest of this country, we're not oblivious of the challenges that we have. We knew exactly where we wanted to go. But for politics' sake, we were bastardized and criticized. John Mahama was made to look like a devil, an insensitive person, because we were saying that, look, teacher training and nursing training, we want to expand. We want many more nurses to come on board. We want many, and then we'll give you student loan. So it's not like we're even taking the money and say we will not give you anything. We'll migrate you because you become tertiary. We'll migrate you to student loan.
So now we're paying allowances still.
Yeah, but we're paying allowances. I don't know about that because from what I read on platforms, they are not happy with what they are getting. If they are getting something at all. You see, so bottom line is that, you see, I believe that when you are in, people must understand that whatever you say in opposition, when you come, it will come and haunt you. So these cheap promises that we continue to make, and I can give you, if this program were 10 years, I can continue to give you a plethora of examples of many things that they said they would do that they never did within the stipulated time because they had no plan for it.
No, it's not in the manifesto like that.
Roland,
you have to read the manifesto. You have a copy of the NPP manifesto.
I have a copy of the
do you have a copy of the NPP manifesto?
I would not
go and refer to because some of the things
I am saying that free SHS that my brother was talking about. Yeah. What did they say about free SHS?
But they said free SHS.
They said
it's coming in September.
Listen, wait, they didn't just say in September. They didn't talk about September in the manifesto. What did they say? They said that secondary school, primary education will terminate as SHS 3.
Yeah.
Right? And that it will be applied on a universal basis. What do you understand by universal? It means that everybody within the continuum will get. And they even included KGs. Today, even just the secondary bracket, they are saying that only first years can benefit. Even within the first years, you must get a certain grade to be.
No, but we have entry requirements.
Please, I am saying that, Roland, those writing that into their manifesto, were they asleep? Or were they oblivious to the fact that we had entry requirements when they went around had promising Ghanaians all sorts of these things?
Roland,
They cannot be okay.
The reality,
the excuse the president is giving is that he is not there. All I'm saying, oh no, he's my senior brother.
The reality of our elections and giving power is that people have 4 years to deliver a mandate.
Well, in a certain sense. Yeah.
Roland,
but why do
government is giving 4 years to deliver a mandate, number one. And for all policies and subsequent programs that anybody will want to do, there will always be the need to go according to the law. Roland, I am stating as a matter of fact that 2020, the MPP with our leader will come out to say, we promise the good people of this country that we will make senior secondary school free. We will redefine what basic education is. And basic education will terminate at SHS. At the end of our 4-year mandate, we have delivered this to the good people of this country. President Akufo-Addo will report to the good people of this country that I said that I will give $1 million to each constituency for infrastructure development for poverty alleviation. In the 4 years, persistently, over the 4 years, I have delivered on this. President Akufo-Addo will come back at the end of his mandate, first mandate, and say that I promised 1 district, 1 factory. There are factories in all of these districts. President Akufo-Addo will come back to the good, will report to the good people of this country that I promised in my 2016 manifesto that I will deliver a dam to every village that needs it. And I have delivered.
No, but
but that's not what they said. They said every village. So whether they need it or not, village.
So I have delivered the 1 dam to the village. And it will be happy, it will be a joyous occasion because in the Savannah belt, where the rainfall pattern is that they can only do one, there's a 1 farming season, the people will, that one, evidence-based, they will come and say,
it's a 4-year term.
We have a 4-year
But I remember,
term.
Mr. Chairman Tingejako, that you held to accountable the NDC when they couldn't provide, is it, how many senior SHS did you say you provide?
200.
200.
Yeah, but he said over 4 years.
No, you were saying the first year there was deficit.
He said,
Second year there was deficit.
He gave out
Third year there was deficit.
President Mahama in the manifesto. Let us not even talk about the things we all say on political platforms. Okay. He said some things on the political that he knew he couldn't deliver. But what does the manifesto say? The manifesto stated clearly that every year they will deliver 50.
Yeah, true.
That is what they said. And if you give a timeline, we will hold you by the timeline.
So you're also giving timeline. We are
What
holding you one. I am saying that 6 months for the creation of new.
Nobody said that.
Not in the
it is.
Nobody said that. Bring the manifesto.
Look, I'm saying that
it's not
the president, whether manifesto or not, what he told Ghanaians is what we should hold him accountable for, not what is in the manifesto. When he says, when they say that within the first 6 months they will restore fully nursing training and teacher training allowances.
I agree with you.
Has it not been restored?
No,
I agree with you. But the guidebook is a manifesto.
No, I'm saying that.
The benchmark by
I'm
which
saying that the guidebook.
Because in 4 years,
please,
it's not what they said.
It is not the manifesto. Listen, the book doesn't deliver.
It's not the oratory on the campaign platform.
No, the book doesn't deliver. It is the person who delivers. The book is to remind him of the general things that he wants to do.
If you go to the economic section of the manifesto, they said they'll reduce all the indicators of the economy, and so far
we are doing
they've done some, but even some with the timelines that
you agree that they are improving.
Oh, of course. I mean, they've done some.
You agree that they are improving.
The point we are
agree they are improving.
I am saying that the point we are making is that just as They didn't wait for us for 4 years to deliver on our manifesto. We will not wait for them for 4 years.
He's taking his time, 5 minutes off.
To do that.
So please wrap up.
You can begin to talk. But what I am telling you, the good people of this country, at the end of 4 years, will have a testimony that SHS is free, that the constituencies are getting 1 million, including yours.
Yeah, of course.
There is one district, there is one factory in virtually every district.
Not virtually.
Yes, every district. That there will be what is the other one?
Dam.
That there will be one dam in every village that needs it.
For one person, one kinky, one fisherman,
when those things come, you see,
don't reduce it to.
No, yes. But you see,
please wrap up.
You see, Roland. They can go ahead and.
Please wrap up. I have only 4 minutes so that he takes the rest of it.
Oh.
Yeah, true. You've speak now. You give publicity to President Akufo-Addo. It's okay. So.
It's
okay. Please.
No.
So now, what do you want the president to do? The president has come into office, just 7 months into office, and all hell is breaking loose. The president hasn't fulfilled this, hasn't all that, and we know that there are certain.
You've not been fair to me.
No, yeah,
I was saying something and you cut me. I just wanted to say. I wanted to say that the president was in Bibiani, and he was very clear.
Western region.
Yes, he said that he stated a date on the 15th of August. I am meeting the Council of State on this matter. It is a process.
You mean the creation of the new region?
Yes, we will deliver. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president will deliver what he promised to the good people of this country. He has a 4-year term. At the end of the term,
they'll have a new region.
That is what we'll. If by 2020 he didn't create the regions, if by 2020 there are no free secondary schools,
you made that point.
Then you say that the man didn't deliver.
You see, for us,
you have only 2 minutes.
Don't worry. For us, we are in opposition. The constitution demands of us
to just criticize.
To hold the government.
So you are just holding the government accountable.
So as for us, on behalf of the people of Ghana, we are the official opposition in Parliament, particularly because no other party.
So you will not give president face.
So we will keep the president on his toes 24/7. We will continue to point out where he's failing so that he can get better. Okay. After all, when all is done and he delivers, it's inures to the benefit of the people of Ghana. But we are saying that we will not sit anywhere and say that, I've changed my mind, I've changed my timeline. No, we'll keep reminding him.
And you're also saying that the pace at which is going.
And where they are doing things that point to the fact that they are not handling the economy well and there's corruption, we will continue to hammer.
And you are saying that the pace at which is going, he's not going to meet those.
We are saying that already he's missing his timelines and he's changing the form of the things that he's promised that. We are not going to take that. We will let the people of Ghana understand and know.
Right.
Where their strengths are, we'll praise them. Where they fail, we'll point it out.
George,
that is the job of us.
I wanted to, but it's okay. George Lo is a member of parliament for former member of parliament. I thought you go for the seat again.
Oh, Roland, we are only 7 months.
Emmanuel Tremantin.
According to President Akufo-Addo.
Emmanuel Tremantin.
Roland, did you hear? According to President Akufo-Addo, we are only 7 months. So why should I be worried about
Emmanuel? Only 7 months.
Emmanuel Tremantin.
Only 7 months.
Emmanuel Tremantin Ejako is MP for Ayawaso West Wuogon. I'm just worried that intake into nursing schools now.
But we discussed it one way or the other.
Yeah, Roland,
we should be worried.
I don't think we should be worried. There is a huge specter of nurses finishing and not finding jobs. Today, I think the real challenge is not so much even the government schools as the private schools.
Point has been made.
I must be very frank. I think we are not doing our manpower planning well.
All right.
I think we are not doing our manpower planning well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Tremantin Ejako is a member of parliament for Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency.